You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. Tuesday afternoon, April 2nd. You're listening to Weather with Enthusiasm with weather enthusiast Simcha Lefton. Now let's get to the exciting part. Who is ready for a powerful snowstorm, an April snowstorm? That's what I thought. How exciting this is. Powerful April winter storm is developing across the Midwest. It has not developed yet, but it is in the process of developing. Low pressure will be intensifying, especially this evening, reaching levels which are a rarity here in the Midwest. Some computer models show it reaching 28.9 as it moves into Lake Michigan before it makes a unique track. It drops south from Lake Michigan to just east of the Chicago area. That time, around the heaviest snowfall, a mere 50 miles away from the center of the storm, will be occurring as the storm drops south. When the storm is moving north, the snow, you'll have to go 200 miles or more away from the center before you see the snowfall, perhaps well over 200, and otherwise you'll be seeing rain. Low pressure system developing off the eastern portions of Colorado yesterday. Moved into northwest Missouri by yesterday evening with a barometric pressure from 29.6. It now has intensified to 29.4 as it moves across central Illinois. This low pressure system will continue to move east-northeast and then make a turn northward towards the border of Lake Michigan and Michigan. Computer models, some of them show Michigan. The National Weather Service for Chicago tells us the system is actually, they're describing a track that's a little bit further west than the Confidence yesterday. Moving right to Lake Michigan instead of Michigan. The storm is then going to move west against the jet stream as it moves into the Wisconsin, if you were to look at the model, probably Wisconsin, Lake Michigan border, and then drop due south just east of the Chicago area before tracking off to the northeast and weakening. The storm system is producing a lot of rain. In fact, we have flood warnings in effect for many portions of the area being affected by the storm, including the Chicago area, in fact, until 3 p.m. today. This precipitation will be changing to snow if it has not already for the northwest portions of Illinois, bringing some snow accumulation over there. As the storm rapidly intensifies, cold air will be drawn into the system and precipitation rates will go up, bringing cold air aloft down to the surface. This will help change the precipitation over to a slushy snow for the Chicago area for a period of time this evening. Very little snowfall accumulation is forecasted at this time due to the warm temperatures. There will be a break in the precipitation for some areas which are closer to the center of the storm. Areas further away from the center of the storm will see continuous precipitation and really strong winds. Places close to the center of the storm will see strong winds at times, but winds becoming calm as the storm becomes closer to that area. Later on tonight, precipitation will redevelop. Models show that precipitation will be developed in the form of snow in the Chicago area, and by sunrise tomorrow, snow will be ongoing, according to guidance. Snow is expected to continue, according to the models that I've seen, and according to the National Weather Service forecast, until midday, which would take us until 1 o'clock p.m., and we do have models showing that the snow will continue even after that time, all the way till tomorrow evening. Snowfall accumulation is expected to be just about zero for the Chicago area due to warmer temperatures, but that could change. But the main snowfall accumulations will be occurring in Wisconsin. Snowfall accumulations in Wisconsin, about 2 to 4 inches, or we could say 1 to 4 inches for southeastern portions of Wisconsin, including Milwaukee, 8 to 14 inches for Green Bay, Wisconsin, and areas to the north, with higher amounts in northeast Wisconsin. Areas near the 40-degree water temperature of Lake Michigan will see snowfall totals a little bit less, just like we've seen with storms that occurred earlier in the season. Lake water temperatures are just slightly too warm at this time. Also, the snow-to-water ratios of the computer models 10 to 1, especially the European computer model. But due to melting and the really wet snow, which often occurs in April, you could probably cut that in half. Whatever you're seeing on the model, just slash it in half, and that would be the real amount of snow that one could expect. So the cities which are forecasted to get 28 inches, according to the European computer model, would be the areas getting just 14 inches. This storm system, as we've heard, is redeveloping. A secondary area of low pressure will be developing as usual, as often occurs off the mid-Atlantic coast. The storm system will be pushing northeast, bringing heavy snow to the New England area and upstate New York from Wednesday through Friday. Snowfall total is very similar, a little bit more for that region. The same amount of precipitation. If you look at the European computer model, once again, you'll see about 28 inches, but that's assuming a 10-to-1 snow-to-water ratio. Perhaps there are locations that will be seeing that, especially the higher elevations, but many areas will probably once again see some melting or wetter snow due to April to lower snowfall amounts. I don't think the 28-inch area would be getting only 14, but probably maybe 12 to 18-inch area, maybe a little bit more. But it will be heavy impact snow. It will be more significant in the New England area. According to the Weather Prediction Center from the National Weather Service, heavy impacts are expected. 95% chance for a heavy impact winter storm for the New England area. The chances are not that high over in Wisconsin. A stronger impact storm with higher snowfall totals expected over the New England area as this developing nor'easter, or borderline nor'easter, develops and heads off to the northeast. Much warmer temperatures will eventually move into the area by the beginning portions of next week as a high-pressure ridge moves into the Midwest, bringing a south flow of much warmer temperatures by the end of this week. The warmer temperatures arrive in earnest for the beginning parts of next week, especially as a low-pressure trough starts to approach the plains for the beginning portions of next week, which will just increase the south flow of warmer temperatures for the beginning portions of next week. Forecast highs currently going well into the 60s for the Chicago area. I did not look up to see whether there's any lake component to that wind. Usually there is not. When the winds are a result of a low pressure system approaching us from the west, usually Chicago ends up with a southwest wind, which brings the warmth all the way to the lake. When the south winds are not in response to a low pressure system in the plains, we often do end up with a lake component to the wind. Enjoy the snow and the eventual warm weather, and everyone stay safe wherever you are, especially those people in the tornado risk area. Have a wonderful day. You've been listening to Weather with Enthusiasm. This podcast can be found on almost every platform where podcasts are available.